Welcome back to the channel, automotive enthusiasts. Today, we are taking a trip down memory lane to look back at a spectacular vehicle that promised to completely redefine a luxury brand, but ultimately vanished into the history books. We are diving deep into the Infiniti Emerg-E, a mid-engine masterpiece that debuted over a decade ago, yet possessed the exact kind of electrified powertrain technology that automakers are scrambling to bring to market today. It remains arguably the absolute coolest concept car that Infiniti has ever produced, a breathtaking machine boasting over 400 horsepower and a tiny three-cylinder engine that never directly turned a single wheel. As Infiniti continues to focus heavily on manufacturing sport utility vehicles, it is the perfect time to look back at the moment when they teased the world with a genuine halo supercar. The story of the Infiniti Emerg-E began in 2012 when it officially broke cover at the prestigious Geneva Motor Show, pulling the kind of attention normally reserved for vehicles with a confirmed production date. Following its European debut, the concept crossed the Atlantic to grace the lawns of the Pebble Beach Concours. The development of this exotic vehicle was highly unique. It was the very first Infiniti developed primarily in Europe, with Nissan Design Europe in London handling the magnificent styling, while the European Technical Center in Cranfield spearheaded the complex engineering. The project even received partial funding through the United Kingdom government, allowing Infiniti to collaborate with specialized suppliers and advanced technologies completely outside of its usual corporate orbit. When you examine the spectacular exterior of the Infiniti Emerg-E, it becomes immediately apparent why the automotive world fell in love with it. The winning shape was penned by Randy Rodriguez, a California-based Infiniti designer whose striking proposal managed to beat out submissions from the company's studios in both Japan and the United Kingdom. The concept completed a dramatic trilogy of design studies that originally started with the Essence and continued with the Etherea. The sweeping aerodynamic curves, the incredibly low-slung stance, and the aggressive front fascia made it look like a purebred exotic supercar. Traces of its beautiful design language eventually trickled down to production cars like the Q60 Coupe, but nothing quite captured the raw visual drama of the mid-engine original, which still looks incredibly fresh even some 14 years later. However, the true magic of the Infiniti Emerg-E lived entirely underneath its carbon fiber skin. It premiered with what seemed like a radically complex powertrain at the time, but one which has now become increasingly common across the modern automotive industry. At the heart of the concept sat a highly efficient 1.2-liter three-cylinder engine sourced from Lotus. But here's the most fascinating part. This internal combustion engine was not mechanically connected to the wheels. Instead, it was utilized exclusively as an onboard generator to constantly recharge the battery pack, making the Emerg-E a highly advanced range extender. The actual propulsion was handled by a pair of potent electric motors, one for each rear wheel, with each motor rated at 201 horsepower. This combined to deliver a total system output of 402 horsepower alongside a massive 738 pound-feet of instantaneous torque. All of this electric fury was seamlessly routed through a single-speed transmission, allowing the mid-engine concept to rocket from 0 to 60 miles per hour in a blistering 4.0 seconds. By today's massive electric vehicle standards, the 15 kilowatt-hour battery pack might seem small, but it provided enough juice for an entirely electric, zero-emission driving range of roughly 30 miles. Once that initial battery charge was depleted, the three-cylinder engine smoothly fired up to act as a mobile power station, giving the vehicle a claimed combined driving range of 300 miles. This brilliant setup eliminated the dreaded range anxiety associated with pure electric vehicles, while keeping carbon dioxide emissions incredibly low. The interior of the Emerg-E was just as exotic as its exterior. It represented a massive departure from anything Infiniti had built up to that point, offering a cabin that featured an incredibly stylish steering wheel, advanced digital gauges, and a sweeping floating central spine running between the seats that looks remarkably similar to the layout eventually used in the modern C8 Corvette. Ultimately, the Infiniti Emerg-E never received the green light for mass production, and the ambitious project quietly faded away. The automaker shifted its primary focus toward building the highly profitable crossovers that dominate their current lineup. The Emerg-E represents the last time the brand parked something truly radically different on a major auto show stand. Considering the striking design still holds up perfectly today, and the innovative range extender layout is exactly what many modern consumers are currently demanding, one cannot help but feel that the concept simply arrived a decade too early. Perhaps it's time for the executives at Infiniti to finally dust off this brilliant idea and give the world the electrified supercar we've been waiting for. Thank you all so much for joining us on this look back at this incredible piece of automotive history. Let us know in the comments if you think Infiniti should revive the mid-engine concept, and we'll see you in the next video.